Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my May book haul part 1. So, May, I knew I was going to go kind of a little overboard on my book buying. I always do in May. It's my birthday month. My birthday's on the 16th, so I knew that I was going to kind of go crazy, and I always do. And of course, there's also a library book sale at the beginning of the month, so that always adds quite a few books to what I purchased during the month. So I thought I better do a part 1 and a part 2. Because I knew I already have 13 books and it's only mid-month. So, and I know I have at least a couple coming in the mail already, and I'm probably going to go spend some more money, you know, here and there. Because people don't buy me books for my birthday. They usually give me gift cards or money for that. So, I like to go and buy my own books because I have so many they don't know what to buy me. So, so I'm guessing I'm buying more books. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through these as quickly as I can. Again, there are 13, so anyway, so I had 2 books that were pre-orders through Amazon. The first is The Weight of Ink by Rachel Kadish. This has to do with woman, again, it's a novel, woman who finds some paperwork or something about from the 1660s, and they're trying to figure out who's the author of these papers. And I think it's kind of like an investigative kind of thing, but I think it's like 2 timelines. I'm not sure, because it does talk about the person back in 1660, a woman, and also one in the 2000s. So anyway, it sounds good. I saw this on Doris's channel, All the Books, and I really thought it sounded interesting, and I think she enjoyed it. I just cannot remember right now, but I pre-ordered it because I knew I wanted to read it. I just wanted to wait for paperback. I didn't want to read it in hardback, and so I'm looking forward to that one. Well, I'm going to look forward to all these. Anyway, the other pre-order I had was The Last Castle by Denise Kirian. This is the epic story of love, loss, and American royalty in the nation's largest home. So this is on the Biltmore and the family around that. And I got to go to Asheville back in about 1.5 years ago with my family. So we all went through the Biltmore, and that was really awesome. So at the time I looked for a history book that I wanted to read on it, but I didn't really find one that drew to me. I don't know why. Usually my dad and I pick up one at least, and we didn't for some reason. But I found out about this not too long afterwards that was in hardback, and so I waited for the paperback version to read about the family, and because it's a really interesting story when I remember what we heard when we were on tour there. So I really wanted to read that, and I know my dad will read it after I will, so that'll be worth it. Then again, I went to the library book sale last weekend, and, well, yeah, the first weekend of May, and so I got 7 books. 4 of them were nonfiction, so that was pretty good, I thought. So the first one I got was Eleanor Roosevelt's Volume 1, 1884 to 1933 by Blanche Elson Cook. Wilson. Anyway, so I had heard about these on Rincey Reads, and I think she had like volume 2 or 3. I'm not sure how many volumes there are, but I'm gonna look into that. But I found volume 1, and I was like, oh, I should get that, and I want to try it out because I've always been interested in Eleanor Roosevelt. I just have not had any time to study her. I mean, as in get a book on her. So I thought I would try this one, and because Rincey had raved about these, so I thought I'd try that. And then I got Brain on Fire by Susanna Halen. And this has to do with a woman who wakes up in the hospital with no memory of what had happened before. And I guess she's like a month of madness is what my month of madness is the subtitle. So I actually think I have this on audio as well. I think I bought it on sale one day and I forgot. So I have either a paperback version or audio. So I'm hoping to get to this sometime. If not, it might be in November for Nonfiction November, but I do want to get to this year. As I said, now I have 2 copies. I have a copy and then I have one on my phone. Anyway, so I do want to read that. I also got Mayflower by Nathaniel Pilbrick. I read The Last Stand by him on Custard and Little Bighorn back in November. So I wanted to pick up another book of his because I liked his writing style in that book so much. And I picked up the Mayflower, is the one I found of him. And again, it has to do with the Mayflower and the settlement of the Plymouth colony. So anyway, I just thought it's another history thing. Love. And then the last one of the history that I got at the library book sale was A Crack in the Edge of the World, America and the Great California Earthquake of 1906 by Simon Winchester. So I have not read Simon Winchester yet. I do have another book of his, I think on audio. So I do want to pick something up. And there's a couple of his other books I want to pick up too. So I need to read some of these before I pick up any more of his stuff. But this was the one I thought sounded really interesting, talking about the earthquake and the aftermath and stuff. So I love that kind of stuff where something happens and then the aftermath. So, I mean, I just like to read about it. Sorry, does that make sense? Anyway, so this looked good and I just picked it up because it was cheap. And then I got 3 more fiction books at the library book sale. The first one was A Conspiracy of Paper by David Liss. And I don't know where I saw this. I can't even remember, but when I saw it at the sale, I just picked it up and thought, oh, I wanted to read that. And I don't remember where I heard about it. It was a long time ago. But this has to do with a man whose father dies. They were estranged, but his father dies and he is asked to investigate the murder. And has something to do with the stock market in 18th century London or something like that. So something with stocks and all this background wheeling and dealing. And so he now steps in kind of where his father kind of got in trouble somehow. And then he's now trying to figure stuff out. Now he's the one who might be the next to die. So I don't know. It just sounded really interesting. So pick that up. And then I did what I was hoping I would not do. And that was buy a book by an author that I have not read yet, but I have several of her books. I gotta stop doing that. I'm trying, but this one got away from me. I figured that I hadn't spent enough money at the book sale, so I picked this one up, and that is The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. I have 3 of her other books, Kate Morton's books, that I have not tried yet, so here's another one. And again, what I'm attracted to these books is because they have dual timelines, one in the past and one in the closer present. So like this one has where this one woman or a girl of 16 sees some crime committed, and then 50 years later, either they're discovering something or talking about it again or solving it or something. I don't know what as I said, I don't read too carefully. I don't like to. So I mean, before I pick up the book. So I am looking forward to reading one of her books. I don't know where to start, so if you have any suggestions, I do have The House of Riverton is the first one that I think she wrote. So do I start there, or do I just pick up whichever one sounds best? What do you guys think? But I need to read one of those this summer. I've decided I have to pick up one of those. She is like one of a couple authors that I have, as I said, multiple books that I haven't tried yet. So I have multiple books and I haven't even tried them yet. So I need to try all of them at least this summer. That's my goal. It's one of my goals. So that's one of them. And then the last book I got at the library book sale was a book I had owned before and tried before, but I had gotten rid of the book because I did not like the mass market paperback that I had. I tried it in college and I didn't finish it. So I don't know if it was the book's fault, my fault, blah, blah, blah. So I want to give it one more shot because everybody was talking about it earlier this year, and that is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. So, as I said, I tried to read this years ago, like right out of college. I think I tried to read it, and either it just wasn't the right time or that mass market paperback. I mean, it was freaking huge. I mean, it was hard to hold, and I got rid of it a long time ago because I wasn't going to read that copy, and I always figured I was going to buy another one, a bigger copy when I could, or when I found one. And this one's pretty good. So this is pretty floppy. So it's pretty good. So I picked it up at the library book sale, which is what I was looking for one to try again. So I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but again, it's one of those books on my kind of bucket list that I want to read at some point. I haven't got to it yet. And because I'm read a couple books that my dad's gotten really back into Westerns. So he's passing me these Western books. So I've read 2 of them now. So, I mean, I'm in the middle of one of them, but I still, I'm feeling like I should add a little Westerns, I guess. And I think I just want to be more eclectic of all the stuff I read. Let's add the Westerns back in, because that was always the one genre that I said I didn't read. And now I'm reading it. Anyway, so I'm going to try Lonesome Dove one more time. And then on Saturday night, I had my writing group. So we meet at a Panera Bread right across the parking lot from a pal's bookstore. So of course I went in. I tried to talk myself out of it, but I did have a gift card that was credit from when I took books in at the end of March. So I had about $38. I spent $36. Oops. So I still have $2 left on that, a little over $2. So, oh well. Anyway, so these ones are no money lost to me because that was money that I got to spend. So it was fun. So anyway, first book I picked up was Kujiki by Keith Yasuhasi. I don't know how to say that. Sorry. I had it in my head and it just came out wrong. This sounds really fascinating. I think I saw this on, I want to say Eclectic Reads, but I'm not sure. This has to do with a guy whose dad dies, but tells him he has to go to Japan for him because there's and he's to find some gate, and he says that there's like spirits, you know, protecting the place, but there's also guardians, and but something's happening with the gods and everything. So it just sounds like spirits, gods, guardians. I don't know. It sounds kind of cool. So it just sounded neat. And it was on my wish list, so I was like, oh, hey, cheap. I got one cheap. I also picked up a copy of Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Now, I read this, I think I read it in college, either that right after college, but I cannot find my copy. And I kept most of my English books because most of them I've reread or looked at them again. And I don't know what happened to Miss Dalloway. So I don't know if it's a book that I didn't keep for some reason, or I lost it. I can't find it. Anyway, so I thought I'd get another copy because I've been thinking about it. There's somebody was mentioning it about Miss Dalloway for another book was mentioning it, and I'm like, oh, I had that book. What happened to it? And I cannot find it. So anyway, I got one of these cool vintage copies. I have another one of hers that I got recently on sale too. So I picked up Miss Dalloway, so I have that so I can read it when I get around to it. I also picked up The House of Shattered Wings by Aliette du Bodard. I don't know how you say that. Sorry. This is a book that I saw about a year ago on and off, and I've been very interested in it. It has to do with Paris and something about, it sounds almost like a post-apocalyptic kind of, but I'm not quite sure. And it has to do with families that are powerful and people coming together, and there's like magic powers or something. I don't know. Fallen Angel says on the back there. I don't know enough about this. I just know that I've had this on my list for over a year, and I've been trying to find a copy of it. And there was one there at Pals. So I got it. And then the last book that I got at Pals, and the last one for this book haul, is one I kind of splurged on because I paid full price for it, which I don't normally do, even at Pals. I usually try to find used ones or other stuff. I just... I buy so many books, I don't try to buy full price. But this one, I was attracted to it, and I've been wanting to buy it for a while, and I'd forgotten about it until I saw it there, and I just picked it up. And that was God Blind by Anna Steffens. So I heard a lot about this last summer, and then I haven't heard much about it at all after that. So I'm really interested in this one. I'm just not sure if it's going to go well, but I spent money on it. I just know it has to do with... it just says this warrior is a watcher, and he and this escaped slave have to work together. There's something going on in the kingdom, and something about between the son's trying to take over for the alien father, and there's blood sacrifices and stuff. I don't know. Sounds good. I guess there's another book coming out of this too. So at least there's 2 books. I don't know how big of a series it's going to be, but it sounded interesting. So I don't know anything about this beyond that. It was one of those, this was an impulse buy because I had remembered about it, but it was not on any of my lists, so I can't remember enough, but it sounds really good. So, hey, if you've read this, let me know. Anyway, so that is all the books that I bought. I am not picking those up. I'm sorry, there's too many. So, anyway, if you guys have read any of these, let me know if they were good. Don't tell me they're bad. I don't want to know. And, I hope you guys are doing better on your book buying than I am. But again, it's my birthday month, so it's kind of out the window of my normal. Even though most of this actually is, I didn't spend that much money because 2 are pre-orders. Those are the most I spent the most money on, and the rest of it was gift cards or that library book sale. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.